All through the summer, I've been fixated on buying dresses. Dresses do suit me better than separates, but it's really difficult to stay warm in a dress, even if you dress it up with tights, boots and a big chunky jumper. So today's haul is some separates from Georgia Asda to hopefully give me some warmth. So I've got 4 things to show you from my Georgia Asda haul, and if I am being perfectly honest, I really did have to scour for these things. If you saw my recent come shop with me at Georgia Asda, although they've got a few more sort of winter autumnal things in, really slim pickings, especially in the larger sizes. So I like what I've picked up, but some things are a little bit out of my comfort zone, and maybe some things are just a little bit too frumpy for me. There's only one way to find out. Let's try them on. 2XL cardigan. It was £15 and it is in this soft grey knit. It's not a heavyweight knit at all. It's quite soft and a little bit fluffy. Now, I'm a little bit dubious now I've actually felt it, because if you watched a haul from Georgia Asda about 6 months ago, I think it was probably as spring was starting, I picked up a black cardigan in the George sale. I wore it several times, I must admit that, but wow, it totally bobbled up and looked absolutely awful, and I'm a bit concerned this may do likewise. I feel this is too big. This is the 2XL and I can wrap it over, well, certainly at the bust line, a little bit snugger here, but yes, it just feels too big on me. That is a disappointment. The sleeves are like those balloon ones. Can you see how full it is here? And then it goes down into a tighter cuff. That's quite good, because I've got big arms, so they don't feel tight at all. But overall, it's just too big, isn't it? Some nice pockets. They're in a different rib pattern to the rest of the cardigan, so it matches in with the bottom there and the cuff. Oh, I quite like it actually. I'm quite tempted to go back, and so I'd have to go and buy an XL. And if I have omitted to say, I am generally a size 22, sometimes a 24 if I need to size up because something's tight fitting, and I'm 5'4" tall. But at the moment, I just feel this is too big. And if I didn't mention, it's got a different contrast stitch here, just to give it a bit of weight so it's not so floppy. Doesn't do much for my shoulders, does it? No. Sorry, this is too big for me. I'm a big fan of a check shirt. I generally wear it over the top of a t-shirt, wear it open so it's a layer. If I've got something tucked in, I like a layer here so it camouflages my belly somewhat. Though in baggier jeans, I don't feel too self-conscious, but if I was to be wearing skinnier jeans and I've got a pair coming up like that, I definitely need something that I feel covers the belly line. So when I saw this, I really liked the pattern because it's in this soft green, grey colours with this sort of heather pink check coming through. So I was quite surprised when I realised it's not actually a full shirt, but a tunic. And they actually have this style in lots and lots of different colours, and even in pink cottons. Obviously, this is sort of like a brushed flannel. I didn't think the cottons would be warm enough. Okay, I'm going to try this on. Looks like I'm going to be getting my £16 back that I bought for this tunic top. It's a size 22 and I just feel it's oversized. That, without a doubt, is probably the aim. It's not giving me any shape, it's not giving me any definition. And the sad thing is, if it was a proper shirt, I would probably love it because it does give me this fullness, definitely across the bust. And you know I'm not a fan of anything too tight here. If I was to be picky, it is very, very long at the back, and I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. It just shortens me so much. The sleeves slightly too long, but that just adds to that cozy, comfy feel. There's no buttons here. There's 2 buttons here that do undo, but I didn't need to at all. And obviously that's a safe level there to have them undone, although I suppose you could do an extra one without showing too much. And that V-neck then is just going to create the illusion that I've got a longer neck rather than 2 necks and 2 chins. I like it a little bit better like that, but I still think it's just too big and oversized and not for me. I nearly bought one of these last year in a very similar colour from Peacocks. It did ultimately go back, and I have regretted it on several occasions, but it was just too big for me. And of course, as you do, you never get around to reordering it. So when I saw this very comparable one in Georgia Asda, I picked it up in a size 22 and it was £18. It's sort of like a needle cord fabric, smooth inside, and it's got a lovely soft texture to it, and I do love this colour. They also had this in a darker aubergine burgundy colour, but I thought that was a bit dour and I wanted something a little bit brighter to have that transition from all your super summer colours to those rich winter colours of the burgundies and teals and browns that are coming in big time. It's got a really long detail here on the cuff. I don't know what this is called, but it's got a deep cuff too with an extra button there. It's got a little pointy collar, a little bit flappy. Should that have a little bit of substance in, do you think? 2 big patch pockets on the front and really nice matching coordinating little buttons there, just plastic ones, looking quite nice. That yoke and that inverted pleat at the back, it's got a bit of weight to it, and I could imagine this being the sort of thing that I pull on when it's just a little bit chilly to do that school run or pop to the shops, but you don't want the fuff of a full coat or jacket. Something that's just quick and easy to pull on over whatever you're wearing and just give you that comfort that you want. These buttons are quite tight, so I'll have to see how feasible it would be to actually bother doing those buttons up every time. Okay, I'm going to try on over the top of this because I did intend them to be sort of like a duo because of this soft heather colour that is in the shirt. Do you know what? I kind of like that. Size 22. It is supposed to be oversized, I get it, but they do seem to be very, very generous this year in sizing. So what do you think? Is it giving me enough shape or definition, or is it just making me look very boxy? I get the style. I do feel a bit lumberjacky. But if that's the style, you know, if that's the trend, I don't mind. I certainly love the casual vibe of this, and that's something I'm quite guilty of. Again, I refer to Seek and Susan, where I've been referencing the fact that I'm attempting to have more of a social life and getting out and about. So I do need more casual things that I'm happy just to wear, like on a pub night, or, well, I haven't been able to join any of the walks. But for example, I went to a quiz last night and I just felt a little bit overdressed in a jacket. I think this would be something that I could pull on and feel casual but feel still quite smart. It doesn't look too bad, does it? And like I said, on the school run, popping out to the shops for a pint of milk, I probably would be more casual. Now let's see how annoying these buttons are going to be, because they were certainly hard to undo. And actually, they're not too bad at all. So I've just done a few of the buttons up just to sort of illustrate if you did want to keep that wind out. I'll have to review the footage to see if it's too big across the back, because obviously I can't see, and that's a big test for me if I then review the footage. And that is a great tip for you. If you're umming and ahhing about an item of clothing, film yourself wearing it and you know, play it back, because that is the view that everybody else gets of you. And so often I find myself here going, oh, I do love this, this is lovely. And then I'll review the footage and I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks absolutely awful. And of course you all reinforce that in the comments. I think this could be the issue, and I think I'm going to size down on this. I'm still unsure about it. I think that makes me look like I've got a nappy on or something. So I like the overshirt. I love the colour because I think it's just giving that sort of winter vibe, but in a brighter colour to really perk you up. And hopefully, I think you agree, it's my colourway too. This is out of my comfort zone. 22 standard jeggings, £14 there, Erin with stretch and high-waisted. I mean, I'm not adverse to a jegging at all. I've had several, not so much recently because like I said, I'm convert to my baggier jeans, but it was the print that got me. I thought this is going to get a bit of voom into my winter wardrobe, and I really couldn't resist them. Got a bit of a metallic sheen on them. I'm not sure if you can see because that sunshine is just playing on them, and they got super stretch. But am I brave enough to wear this snake print? There's only one way to find out. Well, I'm quite pleased I had the courage to try them on, because I have to practice what I preach, and that is try on everything and anything, even if your brain tells you it's not going to suit you, but your heart says I like that, because I'm afraid my brain was right on this occasion. I'm going to put the camera down so you can see the full glory of these snake print jeggings. Okay, size 22, absolutely fine. In fact, they feel a little bit too big because of that stretch. I feel I need something that's going to stretch back in, support me, and then hopefully I wouldn't get these excess folds of fabric. Can you see them that are happening here on my upper thigh and around my crutch? Also, likewise, across the bottom here. These are very generously sized, unless you have got bigger hips and thighs than myself. I carry my weight in the belly and it's covered, not too bad. I'm trying to keep the top down because I am self-conscious in it, and without a doubt I would have to wear something long line with these jeggings. Obviously you can decide for yourself what they look like across the bottom. So much stretch in them. It's got this sort of quite firm elastic around the waistband that's doing a job of pulling them in, but I think this fabric is just so stretchy. So if I was to size down, the waistband might be too small, but I would get the sort of smoother fabric that I'm looking for across this line here. Can you see it's just creasing up and just causing folds, especially around the knee. I just feel like I'm a little pair of little stick legs and then this huge body, and that's usually the formula, isn't it? If you go tighter on the legs, have something baggier on the top. But I think the skinniness of my shins and my calves just emphasize everything else. So I'm afraid these are not a winner. I was brave, but I'm not brave enough to keep them. So the 4 things from Georgia Asda will all be going back, although I'm very tempted to buy that jacket in a smaller size because I love the colour of it and I love the style and I love how I've envisaged wearing it. Returning this because I don't think there's anything to save this. Be returning the snake print leggings because I'm not a rock chick at heart, I must admit. And the cardigan, too big, and I'm also very wary of Asda knitwear after I was reminded how awful the black one that I bought recently has worn. So thank you so much for watching. I wish it was more of a successful haul for you, but it's good to see that these things are coming into the shops. As always, I say you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince, and the same goes for clothes. Try on everything, and with everything new coming into the stores, we've got so much more choice, haven't we, of things to choose and try on. Thumbs up, push that subscribe button please, comments down below. All I say though is please come back and watch me again. Goodbye for now.